Are you also doing private coaching?
Yes, I am. I still have the private coaching. As a matter of fact, I have an array, mainly women, and I've had some couples to call me, which has been a good thing, to sit down with me for a consultation because people are starting to think about it. So my message is getting out there from my posts, from my reels, all of those things. So yes, in the private sector as well. And one of the things I've learned several things in the private sector in coaching clients from corporate America. One thing is that, which is different from the federal government, is that their health insurance doesn't go with them. So most people in the private sector, majority, have to work until they're 65 so they can start to get on Medicare. So that is a big thing there. And then also that most of them only have the 401k, they have not invested outside. So helping them to know that they must do something else and helping them set that up has been a joy. Helping people, I can see the light bulb coming on because, one thing I believe is that when you really see the numbers and you see your numbers and you get what I call the double R, retirement reality, then you can really start. You can really start to make the change because everybody thinks, Michelle, is just years and years away. And you look up and wow, here we are. And then what do we do? And we can't do something in 5 years that we didn't do in the past 25. Right. That's the difficult part there. Right. So my slogan to everybody or my mantra is that early planning is key to financial security.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is a true statement. But how, whenever you're, in your 30s and your 40s and you're raising your kids and, and you're just struggling, to get the kids their soccer lessons and, pay your car payment and right now buy groceries. Like, I mean, how do you tell people like they need to be putting this money away for retirement when they're so focused on just their day-to-day expenses?
Well, that's where it comes in, Michelle, with my coaching program. My first objective in the program with any person, married or single, is that we first have to organize your spending. We got to organize what your spending is. We need to see where you are spending the money and categorize it, then see how much you're putting there. Do you still need to do that? And where, by us organizing it, we can identify some disposable income to start putting away. I mean, if you're in your 30s, if you've got $50, that is good to put in a Roth IRA, 50 a month. And as things free up, you can start to increase that. Now, granted, yes, food, shelter, transportation, all of that stuff is priority. And we put that in the plan, but it's identifying where we may have what I call that little bit of wasted spending or a little bit of, because we have the needs, the wants, and the wishes. And so, and the wishes. So we need to see on some of that wishing that we're doing early, how can we cut it back so that then down the road, those wishes aren't a problem. So it's prioritizing. Yes, people have the necessities they have to do, but then also planning for your future is a necessity and saving for it is a necessity as well.
Right. I was scrolling through Instagram this morning and I came across an interview that Gary Vee did with, I can't remember the lady's name, but a young woman that's a financial planner. I think she was from New York. And they were talking about the current economy and how in a down economy, the statistics show that, in a down economy, we're not buying the big things that we would normally maybe spend discretionary money on, but that the spending on the little things, the treats, these little treats goes way up. He was talking about in the Great Depression, how spending on makeup went up because they couldn't afford the big things, but spending on makeup went up, which I guess then especially would have been discretionary. I'm not sure we would think it's so discretionary now.
No, it's a need now.
I know, right? And this lady was saying that lipstick spending in the current economy has gone up, that it's the little treats that go up because you think, oh, I can't afford a new car, but I could afford this special lipstick. And the way that I was, when they were talking about that, I was thinking about Starbucks and you know, the Dave Ramsey like Starbucks talk that he gives about
Yeah.
how like I can make a coffee at home and I can put some cream in it and stir it up, or I can go get a fancy latte at Starbucks. One of those two things costs me, I don't know, 50 cents or less. One of those two things cost me $5. And if I
Yeah.
do it every day, like that $5 a day adds up. And you know, that's, you know, one of those things that maybe is a wishes, not a needs or a wants, you know, or maybe I want that latte, but you know, it's so much easier just to make it at the house and save that money.
Yeah.
So